On Saturday, Netflix released its latest comedy special from Chris Rock called Selective Outrage, where he would finally address Will Smith in the Oscar slap after nearly a year of silence. Rock's commentary on the topic was highly anticipated. However, some of his jokes were met with criticism. Some didn't appreciate Rock calling Jada Pinkett Smith out of her name, while others took issues with his jokes towards Meghan Markle, with some even accusing Rock of attacking black women. Today we'll have our company hype analysts Capone and Pierre call into the show to give their thoughts and reactions. But first, let's take a look at this clip.
I know you can't tell on camera, Will Smith is significantly bigger than me. He played Muhammad Ali, I played Pookie in New Jack City. Will Smith practices selective outrage. Everybody knows what the happened. Everybody that really knows I had nothing to do with that shit. I didn't have any entanglements. Will and his wife was fucking her son's friend. Now, I normally would not talk about this shit, but for some reason these niggas put that shit on the internet. I have no idea why two talented people would do something that fucking low down. Everybody in here have been cheated on. None of us have ever been interviewed by the person that cheated on us on television. It's like, hey, I was sucking somebody else's dick. How did that make you feel? Why the fuck would you do that shit? She hurt him way more than he hurt me, okay? Everybody called him a bitch and called his wife a predator. Everybody called him a bitch. And who's he hit? Me. A nigga he know he could beat. That is some bitch ass shit. Years ago, his wife said I should quit the Oscars. I shouldn't host. She fucking said he should quit because Will didn't get nominated for Concussion. What the fuck? What the fuck? So did I do some jokes about him? That's how it is. She started, I finish it, okay? That's what the fuck happened. Nobody's picking on this bitch. A lot of people go, Chris, how come you didn't do nothing back? How come you didn't do nothing back that night? Because I got parents. That's why. And you know what my parents taught me? Don't fight in front of white people.
Now, of course, a lot of people are chiming on in and they have a lot to say, but I want to read one comment specifically, and then Pierre, I'm going to come to you for your reaction. So a user said, why is Chris Rock still talking about the slap? Sure, he was publicly humiliated and subject to violence, but it was a year ago. Why should Jada feel uncomfortable for something she didn't do? Will has moved on. Chris should stop dwelling in the past. I want to come to you first, Pierre, for your thoughts. What's your reaction? Do you think Chris should stop talking about the slap?
Well, we mean stop talking about it. This is the first time he talked about it. You know, what we talking about here? It doesn't because it takes a year for you to talk about it. Doesn't mean, remember, you can't tell somebody else how to grieve or feel pain. You know, let's stop all this. Let's start telling people it's time, your time is up. You got to stop talking about it now. You know, it is what it is. Somebody talks about it when they want to talk about it. And he felt the need to say, you know what? I'm going to wait until my special come out to talk about it. So this is our first time hearing him talk about it. Will Smith, just because Will Smith want to hurry up and talk about it quicker, don't mean it's Chris Rock's time to hurry up and talk about it. People are just foolish to talk about when somebody should talk about something, when not. I think it was, you know what? What would have happened if he would have talked about it on the special? We'd be like, what the hell? He'd be up at the slap. The people would say, why ain't you talking about the slap? Well, damn. So, y'all with them fucking people, man. Get out of here with that. Get out of here with that bullshit.
Absolutely. It's like people are anticipating and then it happened and then now they're upset. I know you actually watched the special, Pierre. What did you think about the special in totality? Because people are only taking out bits and part of it. But in totality, what did you think about the special?
Okay. To me, you know, his benchmarks are Bigger and Blacker and what's the other one he did? Bring the Pain. Those two specials are his monuments. This one here didn't reach those levels, but it was good to see him back hungry again. You saw him pacing the stage like that, and that's what Chris Rock does. When he's on, he paces that stage. He's aggressive. I think this one here had a lot of good parts in it, a lot of good moments. I enjoyed the special. You know, was it one of his top specials? No, but it was damn sure wasn't one of his bottom ones. I'm telling you that much. But it was a good special. I enjoyed it. I think it came from a lot more anger. You can see a lot of frustration was built up to it. Them jokes came out a lot of frustrations and anger to me. And you know, but I enjoyed it. I watched it twice, so it worked for me.
Yeah, absolutely. Capone, let me bring you in. I want to get your thoughts. What's your reaction to all the things you're seeing surface online? And do you think Chris Rock shouldn't be talking about the slap in his special?
Man, well, from what I seen, I didn't see the special, but from what I seen, that was comedy genius. He didn't hold back. This was what real comedy is about. You should be able to speak your mind. And if somebody slapped me, I don't care if it's 5 years, how I retaliate is how I retaliate. And he made a lot of sense. You know, Will is bigger than him. He played Pookie, and I mean, that was funny. And I think it was genius. It was comedy genius to me.
I couldn't agree with you more. Now, as I said, a lot of people are upset, and there's a big outrage in different avenues of this. Pierre, I'm going to come back to you, but first I'm going to bring up yet another comment. Here's what a user said. They said, Chris Rock said, you don't fight in front of white people, but had no issue calling a black woman a B in front of white people. And then they will go on to talk about how he's negatively talked about black women's hair in front of white people and so on and so forth. I'm bringing it back to you, Pierre, only because this is what the comments are saying. This is how people are reacting to it. Do you think he was wrong for calling Jada Pinkett the B word, or for saying the things about her that he did in his special, Pierre?
Let me get woke. Because I was sleeping. You rest these woke ass. Let me tell you something, man. He said what he said. How do you think comedians feel when women talk about little dick men? You know, little dick, this guy with little dick. How do you think little guys who got little dicks feel? I mean, I ain't talking about me, but I'm just saying, how do you think guys like that? There are a lot of dudes that are in the LDT, the little dick therapy. When we hear about how that little dick, man, glad we got little dick. But, well, come on. It's what it is. You know, we talk about whatever. Everything will be pretty about the next person. So the fact the women didn't care about him calling other guys niggas, but that nigga over there. But as soon as you call a bitch, oh, bitch, too much. What about calling each other niggas? I don't hear women complain about that. Only hit dogs holla. Okay? So to me, it was what it was. He felt like she was a bitch. To him, she's a bitch. What she did was a bitch. And trust me, I have nothing against Jada Pinkett, but a lot of people think that she's a bitch. Okay? You can hear it in the comments. So it ain't like it's a secret. Everybody, no one's ever called her a bitch. It is what it is. That's how people feel. Some people, and that's how they feel. Hey, somebody might call Chris Rock a name. You know what I'm saying? Bitch ass nigga. I mean, that's what they feel. So no, it was comedy. He was doing a routine, and that's how he felt. That was anger, and he felt that. But now to say my mother didn't raise me to fight in front of white folks and then call me nigga, that's a balancing act. You know, if you choose what you want to choose on that one.
Right.
And, he said what he said.
Capone, let me bring you in. Same question. A lot of people are upset, saying that, hey, Chris Rock, you're disrespecting black women in front of all these white people. I want to get your thoughts. Do you think he was wrong for calling Jada Pinkett the B word?
No, he felt what he felt. Like Pierre said, everybody's called to that word. He felt it. He felt angered. He was emotional, and he expressed himself. And so anytime you get smacked and somebody laugh at you, yeah, I would have felt the same way.
Yeah, and honestly, I think the name of this special was perfect, Selective Outrage, because I'm pretty sure those same people listen to music that call women, black women, bees all days and all kind of things. So Selective Outrage was perfect, and he knew what he was doing. Capone, I'm going to start with you on this one. We've heard Netflix get a lot of backlash for kind of, putting out too many specials. Do you think that this move that they did with Chris Rock, him waiting and then being able to release this special, do you think it was a good business move for Netflix to release this special with Chris Rock?
We're talking about it. It was a brilliant move. Business is business, and people seem to forget, and everybody always comment that don't know good business. Netflix is not into pleasing everybody. We know that. They did what they did. It was a good move for Chris Rock. And, like Pierre said, everybody's been waiting for it. He said it on the forum that he did it best. He's a comedian, and we should be able to express ourselves no matter what we're going through. And that's what he did. And Netflix put it out. Congratulations to them.
Pierre, same question for you. What are your thoughts? Do you think this was a good move on behalf of Netflix to release this special with Chris Rock?
I mean, like Capone said, we talking about it, ain't we? I mean, there's a lot of specials that have been released this year that we ain't talking about, or last year that we weren't talking about. So, but I do think there should be a limit on specials. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's only few people should have 10 specials. Really, give a nigga 4 specials at the most in his career, because I mean, give it to somebody, wait till they got something to say, to talk about. Because normally, you notice, watch most specials, the first 2 specials are normally the hottest special someone has. It's a lot of years and years of working on material that you about to pop off in your first special. The second special, you're trying to impress somebody, show people that the first special wasn't a fluke, that you're tough. But after that, you get mixed up with people just talking about shit. You know, people even don't even look like they're on specials no more. They walk on stage with bullshit clothes on, or just look like they ain't got, like they're just working out, like they're just an open mic night and doing specials. I think, and I'm not saying you have to give me a special, but there's people like Capone, there's so many other comics out there that are very funny that I think deserve specials. Let's see some other people, the same people over and over and over again. Come on now. Now, the Chris Rock special, he had something to talk about. You could tell. He came out like, I got something to fucking talk about. His last special, he didn't come out that same way. You know what I'm saying? So let's give out specials every blue moon after you got the first 2. Then let's start looking at new people. To have so many other comics out there that are dope as hell that should get a chance to be heard, their voices. That's my put.
Absolutely. Now, I want to read one more comment just to, at this point, I don't know. People being upset, just to close this out. So a user says, Chris Rock is such a B. You used an on-stage moment to take a jab at a woman you have an off-stage grudge against. Got the slap out of you, rightfully so, and now you're using white people's clutching of pearls to paint yourself as a victim while continuing your tirade. You have been a coon since the beginning, and instead of taking the moment in stride and humbling yourself, you choose to use the guise of comedy, and she puts in quotation, to continue to talk smack about a couple that clearly doesn't give a F about you. She turned you down, he slapped you, get over it. Pierre, I need you to help me out, because comedy was put into quotations, and she talks about, you know, having this off-stage moment and bringing it on stage. Is that not comedy, where you experience things off stage and you bring it on stage to release it? Help me out as the professional. You're the professional. Help me out.
First of all, she's a hater. That lady's a straight hater. She said he got smacked, rightfully so. Really? So it was okay for Will Smith to slap him? You're cool with that on stage in front of all white people? Really? Have fun, whoever you are. Really? It's okay for that man to smack a black man, smack another man on stage. You're cool with that. But when he retaliates verbally, that's the worst he could do. Oh my God, he's a horrible guy. Man, whoever she is, kick rocks with both shoes, okay? Get him out of here with that. He did what he's supposed to do. You bring something out in the forefront of light and embarrass me, or try to make me embarrassed, I'm gonna turn it around as a comic and use my strength, which is my verbal humor, and tear your ass up. And that's what he did. Okay, enough said. Yeah.
Absolutely. Like you said, he said what he said. Capone, I want to come to you too, because I'm blessed to have 2 veterans. So same question to you. What do you think about, you know, people being upset about taking off stage things and bringing it on stage? Is that not the art of comedy?
That is the art of comedy, and she actually does not know what she's talking about. And Pierre said it brilliantly. He's right. Whatever my position of my strength is, I'm going to show it. And comedy is Chris Rock's strength. He said it himself. I am too small to fight Will, so I can't fight him, but I will use what I have to show him what I got. And that was verbally attacking him back. And I think it was clever. That's all.
Now, I want to read another tweet, just because, you know, we have the 2 of you, and I'm honored to have both of you. But I want to hear from a lady comedian, a fellow comedian of you all. And Lonnie Love had this to say, and I'll get you all's reaction. We'll close out. Here's what Lonnie Love had to say. She said, I don't expect my fellow comics who are not black women to understand the complex issues of some of the Chris Rock said. They have not had to endure the issue of sexism and racism from an industry that doesn't understand you as a black woman. Capone, I'll come to you to get your reactions first. To close it out, what are your thoughts? That's from your fellow comedian, Lonnie Love, who had to say that. What are your thoughts on it?
That's her opinion. That's her experience. I really don't have too much to say about that. I mean, everybody goes through something. Black comedians go through things that white comedians don't go through. Women comedians don't go through things that men go through. You know, it's a circle. My thing is, know your freedom of speech, because they're trying to take it from us. You should say whatever you feel, as long as you don't have the you know, trying to hurt somebody's feelings. Say what you want to say and keep your integrity high. And Stop letting people shut you down. That's just the bottom line of how I feel about that. And that's that.
Pierre, I want to come to you and get your reaction, but I want to add something to this. As a comedian, does this make you a little bit more hesitant about saying things about Black women, during sets or during different things that you may, want to do on stage? Does it make you a little bit hesitant because of the outrage and the backlash that we're seeing?
Okay, so Loni Love's a friend of mine, and I respect her, and she's a friend of mine. But worrying about what people call you and talking, like I said earlier about the little penis men. How do they feel when Black women or people talk about men with little penises? My friends have told me they hurt their feelings. You know what I'm saying? They don't like it. But we gotta deal with it. We're gonna get talked about. You can say it's different. You don't know. You can't minimize somebody's feelings, how they feel about something. It's how they feel. And I said, about men calling women bitches, Black women bitches, and B words or whatever. I mean, it's a long running thing in comedy. We talked about all kinds of stuff. We call all kinds of people. We said all kinds of things. It doesn't bother me, vice versa. If you talked about light skinned guy, remember here, sisters, do you believe when they said, you're a bitch or this or that, he's talking about you in particular? He might be talking about bitches. There's bitches out there. I know rough comics like Corey Holcomb, the TK Kirkland. He talks about bitches and hoes. He's talking about the bitches and hoes they're dealing with. If you're a queen and you're not a bitch or hoe, then why is it going to affect you? Why do you think it's going to? Does it have to be you? Are we one way monolithic that everything we said, it got to be everybody? No, man. You can talk about light-skinned niggas or corny. You ain't talking about me. To me, you ain't talking about me. I don't care what you say in the comments. I'm like, well, you're talking about another comic, that light-skinned and corny. It's not me. So I don't take offense to everything being personally talked towards me when you talk about it in a broad perspective. It's not me. So, and we're comics, and I'm not going to stop saying what I say on stage. I don't do it with malice. That's something, if I don't do it with malice, I try to do it with humor. Chris Rock, I think he had a little malice in behind it, but you got to understand why, because he got slapped in front of everybody. So he came a little angry. He had to get some shit off his chest. He was not happy. You can even see at the end. Watch the end, the way he stands there when the show is over. He shows like, man, I was pissed with this. This, it wasn't no smiling and bowing and walking off. Watch the end of that special. He said, I said what I said, and I mean it, and I got off my chest. Y'all deal with it. And that's how I feel. And that's what he did. So.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. And definitely, no disrespect to Loni Love, because I do believe there are things that, Black women experience in the, in the comedy realm. However, as a Black woman watching it, I didn't get upset at all. Like, it, from top to bottom, it did not bother me. One, because I understand that I'm watching a comedy set. I think it's beyond my mind to even hear people upset, because people were wanting him to say something. Why isn't Chris Rock speaking? I even heard people talking about Jada. And I'm not going to name any names, but there are a lot of platforms that were putting the blame on Jada during that time when Jada came out and said, hey, I hope that Will Smith and Chris Rock can, find a way to come together or whatever. Like, people were upset at that. So that's why I say I think Chris Rock knew what he was getting himself into to name the special Selective Outrage. He knew what the response was going to be. I'm pretty sure other people prepare him for it, i.e. we know Dave Chappelle is, this is his realm. He knows how the backlash works. So yeah, Selective Outrage.
And I'll say this much. I'm really hoping, just as a community, as people, especially people of color, that we're past it now. Yeah. The incident happened, we'll apologize. Chris got off his back. Let's move on now. If them two guys never get together, so be it. If they get together, fine. But let's, as a people, it happened, we move on. Hopefully it was a learning experience for everybody to know we're not about to get on stage and do that for everybody again. You know what I'm saying? Put the hands on people and stuff no matter what. And I think Will is truly apologetic about it. Chris was like, all right, you can be apologetic, but this is how I feel, and it's over with. Yeah. Let's move on. At the end of the day, can we move on? I want to move on. I don't know how comedy hype is. I guess tomorrow and the day after we're talking about it again. So, but to me, it can be moved on. But right. I get the.
Absolutely, and I appreciate you for chiming in on this. And from comedy hype to both Will and Chris, we wish you the absolute best. The past is the past, the future is the future, and we look forward to it. So again, thank you for chiming in on this topic. Before we head out, Pierre, I know Capone had to leave out, but I want to know, what do you have going on? And of course, how can people keep up?
Woo, we got a juicy week on my podcast. I got my man Isaiah Washington giving his last interview. I don't know if y'all know, he just retired from acting. Isaiah Washington from Grey's Anatomy, all the Spike Lee's movie and stuff. we sat down and had a very interesting conversation. So if you can look at it today, we're doing the clips and it comes out this week. Very interesting situation. You're gonna learn a lot about him. You may understand why he wanted to retire from acting so quickly. But today is his last ever interview on my podcast, Pierre's Panic Room on YouTube. And that's really it right now. I'm just focusing on that, man, and enjoying the love that I get from you guys again on the streets, man. I'm here in DC walking around and nothing but love I get from being on Comedy Hype. Anybody loves you. They're crazy about the whole crew, but Symphony, they all like, oh, yeah. Can I get your number? Can I get your number? Give me a fake number. I can get these fools, man. They keep asking me for your damn number and shit. I'm going to say 777-9311. You know yeah, there you go. That's what they're going. 301-777-9311.
Look, there you go. I was going to give you that number. Well, since Capone isn't here, I'll do my little shout out just since we're on the topic of Black people and bettering us. This Saturday, March 11th from 12:30 to 2:30 here in Atlanta, Georgia at Black Coffee in Lakewood, Georgia. I will be a speaker at Black Stamp Sessions. It's where we're talking about solutions on how to protect our culture and also our creativity. So make sure you check me out, Black Coffee, this Saturday, March 11th from 12:30 to 2:30. We're talking all solutions. So don't come with a problem if you ain't got no solution, okay? But as I know that's right. I love it. Thank you again for chiming in on this topic. Yeah, I see the Pierre's Panic Room. Thank you again for chiming in on this topic. You heard from us. Now we want to hear from you in the comments below. What are your thoughts of Chris Rock getting backlash for disrespecting Black women? For Comedy Hype News, I'm Symphony Thompson.
Put it in the comments. Put it in the comments.
Culture sounds like shea butter, like kente cloth, like hot sauce, like a hug with 2 pats and a slide, like pride. Like a hair bucket with oils and ribbons and bows, like my forces are all white, but my mama Black.